Hey, what's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Are you ready for some tea to be spilt? Because I can already feel like there's gonna be so many people who are just gonna be like at their keyboards with their fingers like, what's she gonna say? And it just because tea is gonna be spilled, and I might attack some of your like favorite cards, and it's honestly like a lot of these cards I just think are like situational, that like they don't belong in some decks, but like people are just gonna get their panties in a twist. I love that saying. I think that's like such a fun saying. Panties in a twist. I don't know. I just like think that's hilarious. Anyways, okay. Are you ready? Are you ready to hear about some of your favorite cards being attacked? What's funny is I actually like found some of these to be a struggle to like find a list of top 10. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be doing multiple parts of this. I also think too, like, a lot of it was like some of these list type videos are easier for me to make than others because I can just look at my decks and find cards I like and whatever. But this is a little harder because these are cards that like I don't run. I see other people running, so I found it to be a little bit of a harder thing to do. The first card, Sensei's Divining Top. Who does she think she is, insulting my favorite card? Oh my god. Okay, here's the thing. If you're shuffling your deck a lot in EDH, I think top is fine. If you're not, don't run the card. That's all I'm gonna say. It's $30. It's like okay. Like I played with it for a little bit and I was like, I just think this card is underwhelming. If you're constantly shuffling your deck, constantly, top is fine. If you're not, don't play the card. That's all I'm gonna say. It's overhyped. It's really not even that good. The next card. I think that was the spiciest card. Sorry if you think a lot of cards are going to be spicier than that. I don't think it is. Okay, the next card is Unburial Rites. I don't think Unburial Rites is that good. The reason is I just think this card is a lot of mana for what it is. So the first thing is it's 5 mana to bring back. I think there are just a lot of other cards that do hypothetically the same thing. The second thing, the flashback is 4 mana, so it's a little bit better. I just think this card's a lot of mana for what it is. I get that it goes back to the battlefield, and I don't know. Honestly, I just prefer to, like, play another card that brings it to my hand for cheap mana and then recast the card. If you're playing a lot of, like, high CMC stuff, I guess this is fine, but I don't really like this card in, like, if you're playing a lot of, like, cheap creatures, I would just rather, like, play like Disentomb and then recast the card for like 3 mana. You know what I mean? I just don't think this card is like that good. Okay. The next card is True Conviction. I think True Conviction is truly a win harder card. I actually had this card in Avacyn and I took it out because I was like, I'm just trying to win the game harder. It doesn't really progress your board. It just kind of like says I'm gonna kill you but faster. And like, I just don't think this card is, like, essential. I just, like, I think, like, maybe, I don't know, I'd have to, like, really think about, like, the right deck where I think True Conviction fits. But even so, like, even in, like, equipment, like, I was thinking, like, equipment-type decks, but honestly, in equipment-type decks, all you can do is, like, play equipments that give your creatures double strike and lifelink. And this card's, like, a lot of mana. It's, like, 6 mana. It's kind of a lot. Okay, this card, I truthfully, like, if I could, like, point at a card and say, this card's bad, it's gonna be Cloud Blazer. I genuinely think this card is a terrible Magic card. Like, I don't think this card is good. I don't think you should run it. I have a Rune deck. I don't run this card. I don't really know where else you run it. I guess in, like, other, like, Blink-type decks, like, there's a lot of commanders that do similar type things. I think there are so many better cards that do similar things to Cloud Blazer. It's 5 mana for a 2/2 with flying. The stats are really not that good. You draw 2 cards and gain 2 life, which is good, but I think just overall, this card just, I don't know why. Every time I see this card being played, I'm just like, this card's bad. Like, don't play it. Like, it doesn't do anything. Like, there's so many other cards that do the same thing as Cloud Blazer that are cheaper. Like, you may not get it all stapled onto one creature, but honestly, who cares about the 2 life? Who literally cares? Like, there's so many other cards that gain you life. Like, I'm trying to think, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that gains me life in Rune, but I know I have it. But, like, drawing cards, like, there's so many other cards that draw cards that are not, like, 25 million, 117 mana. Don't run this card, please. It's bad. Okay. In the right situations, I think cards like Elvish Mystic are fine. If you're playing elves, fine. If you're playing just, like, a green ramp deck, just play like Rampant Growth, guys. Like, you don't need cards like Elvish Mystic. They just get killed. Like, it's a creature stapled onto a little thing, so it's like you're gonna play and it's just gonna die. Like, have you ever heard of like Bolt the Bird? Yeah, like they're just gonna kill your thing. Just play mana acceleration in like forms of instant or sorceries. No one will counter them, no one will care. You will play your thing and then you will get your land and it will be in the graveyard and you will have a great day. I promise there are better cards than this. Don't run this card. If you're playing elves, that's the exception. These cards fine. If anything else, don't play it. Okay. Okay, this card's kind of spicy. Mystic Remora. I don't think this card is that good. I just think there's so many other things that people can play that draw cards. It's got the cumulative upkeep cost. I don't know. I don't know what it is about this card. I just, like, don't really like it. I don't think it's, like, oh my god, like, I truly hate this card. Like, it's like, it's fine, like, it's only off of non-creature spells. You play this card on, like, turn 1, but I feel like you draw this card late stages of the game, but it's kind of a dead draw. It's kind of just an annoying card, like, you play it to kind of, like, annoy your opponents, like, you know you're not gonna pay the 4 mana. I don't know, I just, like, don't really care for this card. I think there's, like, better, I prefer, like, instant or sorceries. A draw. Okay, the next card is Arcane Denial. I do not think this counterspell is good. I don't want my opponents drawing cards at all. There's 0 reasons for this. Yeah, like, you draw a card, but they're gonna draw 2 cards off this card. Guys, I would rather pay 1 additional mana for other hard counterspells than this card. I don't think this card is strong, like, at all. Like, I just think this card is bad. Like, I don't know why. Like, people are gonna say, well, Tracy, it's 2 mana. And, like, listen, if you're playing competitive EDH, whatever. I'm talking, like, casual to, like, mid levels of EDH, just pay 3 mana to counter a spell. And, like, I just don't. Okay. I think I just stuck my tongue out that card. I think that's what it came to. Okay. The next card is Oblation. Okay. I think this card is just bad. Like, okay, so if you're playing white, there's a really good chance that your removal package is chocked full of all of these things. You have creature removal, you have board wipes, you have artifact removal, you have enchantment removal. Like, what are you missing in white? Like, you're not missing anything in white. Don't play Oblation. You have other specifically, this card is not specific, it's anything, so it's any type of non-land permanent, but then they draw 2 cards. No. There are no excuses. You're playing white, you're playing all of this other sweet removal. You don't need to play Oblation. Like, there's 0 reasons that you're playing Oblation. Like, you have all this access to all these other great cards that exile. Like, there's no reason that you should play this card. There's zero reasons. Okay, this is another card that I just think is bad. I don't know how to say this card. Nevin Rolls. I don't know why I said I can't say it, because I can say it. Disc. I think this card is so bad. Like, I get if you're playing, like colorless, or you're playing, like, yeah, I guess you're just playing colorless and you don't have access to removal, and you're like, well, I need removal. Okay, here's why I think this card is bad. I think this card is just really bad because, honestly, it comes into play tapped, and if I see a Neverill's Disc on the board and I don't want the board blown up, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna kill the card. If you have it where, like, you can untap it somehow, I think it's a little bit better. And again, I think if you're playing colorless, I might say it's okay, because a lot of your other cards that, like, if you're playing colorless, like, you want, like, Ugin the Spirit Dragon, obviously, and you want, oh my god, I can't think of the card right now. The one that's 7 men, all is dust. Like, those cards are expensive, like, cost-wise to get, and this card is, like, cheap, which I can kind of be like, okay, if you're, like, looking for a budget option. But I don't like that it comes into the battlefield tapped, because then you just literally, and I'm just, like, if someone plays this card against me, I'm going to remove it. Like, there's 100% chance if I have removal in my hand, which it's me, so I have removal in my hand, like, it's going to get removed. Like, there's no way that I let this card sit on board. I just think it's, like, an annoying card that, like, you're like, oh, am I gonna pop it off? Like, just, it's annoying. Just don't, like, I don't like this card. Oh, feisty. Okay, the last card that I don't think is that good is Season's past. I played with this card in Tassiger when it first came out because people were like, this card's going to be busted, it's going to be so good. I don't think this card is that good. I think, like, you really, to get the full effect of this card, like, you need, like, 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, and, like, when you think about it, when you're building an EDH deck, like, you're gonna want that type stuff, but honestly, like, I just think there's so many other recursion that's, like, better than Seasons Past. I don't think this card is terrible. Like, I get why people run it, and I get why people like it. I just, like, don't think it's that good. They have to have different converted CMCs to make this card worthwhile. I don't know. And it's green, so you're playing a removal, so it's, removal, oh my god, you're playing, mana acceleration, so it's like, you know, it's not like the 6 mana is really that. I just, like, I don't know. I just think this card's, like, underwhelming. Like, I think there's just, like, better cards, and I don't know. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not bad, it's not great, it's just fine. So, that is it. That is it for 10 cards. Honestly, and I really had to strain myself to really think about cards. I think I would really need to, like, be in an EDH game again and, like, look through my, like, other people's decks to really see, like, because I did, like, a lot of research for this video. I looked up, like, top 10 EDH cards and, like, cards in every color, and honestly, like, a lot of those cards, like, I just think are good, so, like, I was like, I don't want to talk about cards that, like, I really love. Like, a lot of the cards, most used cards, like, I get why they're most used, but these are cards that I just, like, either think are underhyped, or overhyped, are just plain bad, or just not as good as people think. So, let me know if you agree with any cards on this list. Let me know if there are cards that you think I should have mentioned because they might be featured in another video. As of right now, I don't have intentions to film another video, but honestly, you might change my mind if you're like, Tracy, I think this card is overhyped, and I'm like, forgot about that card. So, yeah, that is it for this video, and I will see you guys in my next.